I absolutely love bone-in chicken thighs. I think they are delicious, and when the skin is crispy, it is absolutely wonderful. And I like to make the most of the chicken by using some of the rendered fat to cook vegetables in, so that way none of that good chicken flavor goes to waste. So I'm pairing the chicken with zucchini, and I'm gonna cut it into ribbons because I just love the way that the ribbons cook up in the rendered chicken fat. You know, the way that food looks enhances our perception of how the food tastes. And I love these ribbons. They just have movement and fluidity, and they also take to and absorb the chicken flavor a little better, I think, because there's so much surface area. Since zucchini is so packed with water, I'm salting it so that I can draw some of that water out so that it won't completely waterlog the skillet once the zucchini goes in to cook. I'm just gonna let that stand while I prep everything else, and we'll end up being about 20 to 30 minutes depending on how fast or slow I'm moving. I like to have a lot of onion because when it cooks down, it becomes very silky. It's not crunchy at all. It's very tender, it's very soft, and it's full of that chicken flavor. The last step before I start cooking is to salt and pepper the chicken thighs. Start the chicken thighs on the stovetop. I have the heat set at medium, not higher, not medium high or high, because I want to sort of slowly render the fat. I'm going to start it skin side down. These are going to cook for about 10 minutes until the skin is nice and golden brown. Okay, I'm gonna flip these over and cook for about 6 minutes on the other side. It won't be long enough to fully cook the chicken, but the chicken will finish in the oven. I'm going to remove the chicken from the pan. There's some nice chicken drippings that I have collected in the bottom of the pan. Cook this for a few minutes. I'm going to scrape up some of those yummy brown bits off the bottom of the pan. So I don't have to fuss with this too much. I just stir it occasionally once everything's sort of combined in the pan. Okay, so these look nice and soft. They've gotten really nice and tender cooking in the rendered chicken fat. They taste delicious. You know, I might have snuck a little taste. And it's time to take these off the stove. So the zucchini has been standing now for about 20 or 30 minutes, and you can see there's a lot of liquid that's already drained off into the bowl. And I just want to make sure to get as much liquid out as possible because, again, I just don't want it to water out the lovely onions that are nice and soft and wilted. So I'm just going to drain these by placing them on a few layers of paper towels and squeezing them. Okay, so you want to get out as much liquid as possible so that once everything's in the skillet and it bakes in the oven, it's not just swimming in water. I'm just going to toss this together with tongs to kind of incorporate the onions with the zucchini evenly. I did not season the onions because the zucchini has been salted. Now that these things are combined, I'm just going to nestle the chicken on top. I've got this nice little flap of crispy skin that I want to keep out on top. If it were to tuck in, it might get a little soggy from the moisture from the vegetables. This is going into a hot 450-degree oven until the chicken is done. So I'm just going to use a probe thermometer and place it in the chicken. I want to avoid the bone. I don't want to touch bone, but I want to go kind of into the middle of the thigh here. Kind of go into the middle this way and the middle this way. Take this to the oven, 450 degrees until the chicken reaches 165. Okay, everything is done. The chicken is super crisp. The skin looks beautiful. The zucchini looks wonderful. I like to serve this with quinoa. It's also great over mashed potatoes or over rice. So because we pre-salted that zucchini, let me show you. There's just barely any liquid in the pan. That's perfect. The onions are buttery soft. Everything is piping hot. You know, my kids aren't big fans of onions if they're crunchy, if they're raw. They love these. Let's see, I'm gonna go for this guy because he has a lot of nice crispy skin. So in the warm months, I'm all about rosé, so I'm gonna serve this with a nice rosé. It won't overpower the subtlety of the sweet onions or the zucchini. Okay, I can't wait to dig in. I'm gonna save that skin for a later bite, but first I wanna dig into the onions and zucchini. The zucchini still has just the tiniest bit of crunch that's really nice. You know, it doesn't just completely fall apart or disappear, but the onions are super buttery. It's really good.